I think $15.6 million in hourly fees for only a few months of work is fucking worth it when they got your dumbass to pay $44 billion for a company that you immediately halved in market value. Okay? No, it is the most worthwhile $15.6 million in hourly fees, dumbass. Sufferable. Okay, so let's talk about Elon Musk. So here's the hilarious situation. Elon Musk, not sure what subtle clues gave it away, but I like the letter X. So Elon Musk is finally rebranding Twitter to X, which he's been trying to do, or he said he wanted to do. It's really fucking stupid. Okay? It is really, really fucking dumb because, like, tweeting, Twitter, it's like a very recognizable brand. So I don't know why you would spend $44 billion, like burn it to the goddamn ground, and then do a fucking revamp of the brand, like rebranding, so that now Twitter in and of itself is just like something different, and X and all of the feelings associated with this new Twitter will just be X. And everyone will look at that and go, this sucks ass. Because this is an absolute fucking bird-brained website. It's always been kind of bad, but at least there was like something funny in the sea of awful content that you got. And now it is officially turned into a website where everybody's like shilling cryptocurrencies, bots are out of fucking control, or real human beings are behaving like bots all the goddamn time as well. Everyone's trying to sell you an NFT project, a cryptocurrency project, a way to fucking make money, or their OnlyFans in the replies of every single goddamn person. And they're doing it in the most contentious, most awful way possible. It's like, at least back in the day, people were like kind of creative with the way that they sold themselves. Nowadays, it's just spam. The entire website is fucking spam. It's a gigantic shithole full of conspiracy, brain broken, weirdo perverts. It's turning into like Facebook, but with more spam than even Facebook. You know what I mean? What is this? NFTs were no joke, the dumbest bubble in history, dumber than tulips or even Beanie Babies. They were literally digital receipts that say you alone own something that everyone did. It's so embarrassing that Silicon Valley was pushing these so hard. I agree, and I kept saying it, and I felt like I was insane for saying it at the time. And like, just like with every other thing, just like with every other aspect, whenever there is something that is a cultural phenomena, whenever there is a cultural phenomena that everyone is tapping into, whether it be NFTs, whether it be cryptocurrency, whatever the next thing is, right? Every time I shit on it, there's so many people that lose their goddamn lives over it. Not defending Twitter, but this sounds like fascists talking about California. Like, people lose their fucking minds because it's like, oh, how could this guy who I really like and appreciate the opinions of speak so poorly about something else that I'm enjoying, right? And then they just stick to that narrative. They stick to that, and then they just like become a permanent fucking hater. And it's so strange that, like, I would assume someone would go back and be like, you know what? I lost all my fucking money, so now maybe I'm not wrong. I mean, maybe it's fine. What is this? Gonna be honest, this new widget design looks like an app for a membership-only human trafficking gentlemen's club headquartered in Budapest. I mean, that's not wrong. It's a good tweet. Correct. I don't know. It's because they're stubborn. They think they're always right and refuse to admit when they fucked up. Why don't you say Bebela Chiwi? The problem is that some people think NFTs fails because of people like you calling them out. Yeah. This tweet was going around recently as the perfect NFTs are idiotic from the jump. Yeah. This tweet still exists in the fucking ether, which I love. I've seen this before, and this person still has a fucking NFT profile pic. If you make an NFT of a real diamond and the diamond itself gets destroyed in a fire tomorrow, you still have the same asset because the token still exists and is in limited supply just as before. Nothing has changed. What NFT is doing the concept to a concept of an asset, if you understand? No, we all understood it. It's called, if you're dumb enough for that, I got a bridge to sell you. And I made this comparison like when cryptocurrencies were first blowing up. And I was right. And here we fucking are. You know what I mean? Remember back in the day? Like, I got a bridge to sell you that was the concept that meant that you were a mark, a rube, a sucker, someone who could be sold on anything, even something that you did not physically own. Also, the irony of a diamond getting destroyed in a fire is not lost upon me, okay? But that's not even the most important part of this tweet. The most important part, in my opinion, is the concept that this would be talking in Jersey right now, brother. What do you mean? She did it, sold it for like 2.5 million. Now it's worth 0. Yeah. I saw someone who made a thread on you on Twitter, and it was a clip from you playing the character, and people in the replies were mega comedy saying you had sex with minors and absolutely unhinged stuff. Yeah, I mean, this is just what Twitter is now. It's just people, it's just like actual pedophiles, okay? Like actual out and about pedophiles with like lolly avatars and like talking about how they want to like fuck minors and shit, who are also Nazis, literally just like openly saying other people are pedophiles. And then the irony itself is like you click on their profile and it's literally them being pedophiles in a sea of, it's just 4chan. A real pedophile Nazi with a teen girlfriend posting about you made my morning. Yeah, like actual, this isn't even like a meme, okay? It's just straight up dudes who like advocate for actually it's a phebophilia type shit, unironically saying that kind of stuff. Very unhinged. I'm sure this will have no real life consequences. Like the more people are just so fucking insane. Oh, anyway. X video is trending in the United States. Yeah. Chris Dixon, Mark Andreessen backs 30 million fund exclusively investing in NFT art. Yeah, it was so fucking stupid. Hoping Threads will integrate an actual For You style page in trending algo that isn't dog shit compared to Twitter. I doubt it. It's an exceptionally rare thing in life or in business that you get 1 second chance to make another big impression. Twitter made one massive impression and changed the way we communicate. Now X will go further, transforming the global town square. X is the future state of unlimited interactivity centered in audio, video, messaging, payments, and banking, creating a global marketplace. Yeah, this is literally what they have in China. They want to do WeChat, okay? Now, obviously, that concept would be massively successful if it wasn't run by absolute fucking dumbasses, okay? We already know. I mean, it is massively successful in China, which is entirely different than the American marketplace, okay? It's also not new for America. This is precisely what Meta has been trying to do from the jump. But Meta, Facebook, couldn't fucking do it in America. So they only were able to do it in like secondary markets or places where they basically developed the infrastructure of the internet and created a walled garden style internet. Like in India, they tried to do it. You know what I mean? So they can't even do that. Like, I don't know if, I mean, I just don't have any confidence that Elon Musk would be able to do it, especially because Elon Musk is a fucking dumbass. I mean, you're over here talking about making like a payment structure. I'm not comfortable, even if I were to make money off my Twitter impressions. Okay, I'm not comfortable giving my fucking social security number to Elon Musk. Are you crazy? And his like skeleton crew that keeps breaking the website every day. Get the hell out of here. Yeah, he's just one of the richest men in the world. Yeah, definitely a dumbass. Yeah, he is a dumbass. But you know what's funnier? I'm a dumbass too. But you know who's the biggest dumbass here? You fucking idiot. It's because of idiots like you who are like, yeah, he's the monarch, my lord. How dare you say he's not worthy? I'll tell on you. I'll tell on you to him. You are a peasant. You are a serf. Your brain is like wired in a way to be servile. Okay? You can change that reality. Hopefully, one day you will be able to. But, no, don't try to fucking rewire this to be like, I'm just saying he's obviously doing something right. No, that doesn't mean anything. Okay? Lucking into a tremendous amount of wealth and failing upwards by being a relatively decent con man who markets himself more than anything else and tricking a bunch of people like you into thinking that he is like a brilliant guy who knows how to make money is so viciously stupid. You're being so transparently idiotic. Okay? Do you understand why? We're watching him actually get into a venture very publicly and losing. And oh yeah, wealth is not merit, obviously. That goes without saying. It's so fucking stupid that we're even having that conversation. If that meant something, why are you talking back to me? I'm wealthier than you are. You know what I mean? That's not how this works. It's so dumb. You can fail upwards and be rich and have people kiss your ass? Exactly. It's so fucking stupid. It's so incredibly dumb, but there are plenty of people who are that way because they've been so socially conditioned. Okay? They have been so profoundly conditioned into believing this. I've talked about it so many more in so many different ways. Yeah, by that logic, XQC is smarter than my college professor, infinitely smarter. Anyway, I understood how people thought Elon was smart a couple years ago because not everyone knows cars are rockets, but I'm shocked at the people who don't realize now after seeing Twitter under him. Yeah, I said this in the beginning that he's failing in a profoundly public way in front of people while also taking away a treat that people have. I mean, here, I literally just got a reply from Your Rage on this same thing. Look, Your Rage, in many respects, has, he pays attention to a lot of stuff, but he's still closer to being a normie than someone like myself. He said, Elon's getting corny. I said, getting, question mark. He said, I don't pay attention. I don't pay attention to these billionaires. Like, there are so many normies who are just like, what the fuck is this? X videos? Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Grimes proposes a logo for X, the former boyfriend Elon Musk. I can't believe all this shit. Xvideo is about to have better video player than Twitter. Xvideo's 100% undoubtedly has a better video player than Twitter because Xvideos is a pornography website. Of course it has a better video player. They have to. They're not run by a person who can just like rest on the laurels of having other dumbasses even dumber than he is keep beefing up the product by claiming it's actually good when it's not good. Pornography also, the porn industry in general, is always on the forefront of new distribution mechanisms and whatnot. They have to be. So it's not even remotely surprising to me. He's like Art Deco, the aesthetic of the roaring 20s prior to collapse. What could go wrong? I don't know. Like I said, though, Meta tried to do this exact same thing and failed to do it in the United States of America. I don't think that Elon Musk is going to be the guy who can pull it off, especially when, like, for all of his lizard-like qualities, Mark Zuckerberg still objectively is a smarter person than Elon Musk. Okay? That doesn't mean he is like brilliant and deserves billions of dollars or did billions of dollars worth of work or anything. But it's just like he's still smarter than fucking Elon Musk, which isn't really saying much. Now, I don't like the Zuck is half the IQ of Musk. No way. What the fuck are you saying? Not correct. To be fair, I don't really care. One, because I don't really care about IQs as a byproduct of like who's actually making more money. When the person with the highest IQ on the fucking planet famously works at a goddamn bar as a bouncer. I think he died recently, actually. But like, if you are dumb enough to just think that like IQ means you make more money, once again, you're a fucking absolute baboon. But it is expected from Elon Simps to believe this kind of idiotic nonsense, especially when you consider misinformation law. Yeah, he says I'm putting misinformation out there. Do you want to know why that's so dumb? Because wealth does not even if IQ was as important as you think it is, wealth 100% does not translate to IQ because there is no meritocratic approach to generating wealth. Because luck still plays a profound role. I myself am a recipient of said luck. Okay? So I don't know why you're in here being like, Zuck is half the IQ of Elon. Okay, fine. But it doesn't matter because guess what? You know, he has still seen more success than Elon Musk, with the exception of the VR failure. And he's had plenty of failures on top of that. Obviously, I'm not even saying Zuck is a brilliant either. He sucks as well. Yeah, Elon Musk makes people like Ian Miles Chungus his colleagues. He has the IQ of Airbud, yeah. Just literally look at XQC. XQC recently got a $100 million contract. He eats his toenails. Does XQC have a higher IQ or is smarter than your college professors? And XQC, I think, is pretty smart. And whenever I say that, people get very mad at me. Anyway. Or Aiden Ross. Anyway. Dude literally talks in public about complex issues. He's not smart somehow. No, it is the vibes that is making you feel like he's brilliant or smart. I talk about complex issues in public regularly. Do you think I'm smart? If you're an Elon Musk fan, I doubt that you think I'm smart. You think I'm a fucking idiot, right? And that's fine because I am a fucking idiot. The difference is so is Elon. Also, the idea that like Elon Musk is brilliantly analyzing complex issues and delivering valuable information is a totally different notion here. But again, it does not matter. Elon Musk is not a smart person in general. Just look to what he has done with Twitter. Elon Musk was forced to purchase Twitter at $44 billion, money that he did not have in liquid cash, money that he had to basically go to banks and get, and from, Saudi donors to get, and then literally ripped its market share, its valuation in half, even though it's a private corporation now. There is basically 1/10 of the revenue that he's making out of this website. He's made it also objectively unusable, and you're still over here talking about defending this guy. For years, fans and critics alike have pushed Twitter to dream bigger, to innovate faster, to fulfill our great potential. We've already started to see X take shape over the past 8 months through our rapid future launches, but we're just getting started. There's absolutely no limits to transformation. X will deliver everything. Yeah, I mean, Elon is very good at selling you a bridge and then never really following through. And then for some reason, the market that's supposed to behave in a way that is the market that's supposed to behave in a way that is like smart, obviously not behaving in the way that it's supposed to by turning around and never really punishing Elon for not fulfilling his ridiculous promises that anyone with 3.5 fucking brain cells would recognize as ridiculous from a mile away. Elon is suing the lawyers of
buying Twitter might be the worst thing to ever
you know what? Let's get started
happen
on
to
it. Let's
Elon
watch
Musk.
this.
But the best thing to happen to people who love crazy lawsuits. And now Elon is suing the lawyers who forced him to follow through with the sale because he thinks that they charged Twitter too much to beat Elon Musk, because now Elon owns Twitter and he's the one that effectively has to pay for it. You really can't make this up. But of course, it's more...
Okay, I love that. That makes me so happy. I didn't even know that this was happening. I didn't even realize he has to like pay for the Twitter lawyers because they were on contract that forced him to purchase Twitter. Oh, that's so awesome.
Complicated than that. Now, apparently Musk is still smarting from the time that he was forced to honor his deal to buy Twitter for $44 billion. So now he has filed a lawsuit against the law firm of Wachtell, Lipton, Rosen, and Katz, the law firm which represented Twitter when the old owners sued Musk to follow through with the sale. Wachtell charged Twitter $90 million to facilitate the deal that eventually led to Musk taking Twitter private. Now, the old Twitter board paid $84 million right as the deal closed, literally 10 minutes before the company turned over to Musk, and now Elon would like all of that money back, please. Money, please. Now, to review, this was a sale between a public company and an individual who intended to take the company private. Musk offered Twitter a share price of $54.20 per share, and Twitter's board accepted the deal. Musk then tried to back out of the deal for reasons relating to him being a huge idiot, and essentially Musk failed to do his due diligence before making the offer and later realized that his offer was way too high. Or maybe it dawned on him that trying to make Twitter profitable was going to require a lot more than just shitposting on Twitter, so he tried to get out of it. Now, Wachtell wasn't Twitter's original law firm for the sale, but when Musk said that the deal was dead and tried to back out, Twitter turned to this law firm, which has a reputation as one of the world's top law firms specializing in mergers and acquisitions.
I'm into, murders and executions mostly.
Wachtell promptly sued Musk in the Delaware Court of Chancery, and he backed down without even getting a discount on the original sale price. Basically, they spanked him. Now, right...
Dude, what? I don't understand. I don't really appreciate legal shitting on a brilliant man. After all, he's a billionaire, so he must be that much smarter than the average person. Even though he basically lucked into his first company and then rode the wave of Silicon Valley and quantitative easing all the way to fucking literally where he is now. I don't really understand why you're undermining what he did here. Really fucked up. Elon Musk has never actually had a venture that doesn't revolve around government subsidies before Twitter, when you think about it, really. Outside of PayPal, which he was forced out of the board of, which we are going to be talking about right now, because honestly, that plays a role in the X.com situation. In 2000, Elon Musk tried to rebrand PayPal as X.com, but was forced out of the board by forced out by the board and replaced as CEO by Peter Thiel. Now he's doing the same to Twitter, but is surrounded by sycophants who can't tell him it's a bad idea. That's right. That's what Elon Musk tried to do. He tried to rebrand PayPal as X.com even back then. And again, he was forced out by the board and replaced by the CEO, replaced as CEO by Peter Thiel, but he still made a massive payday from that. He then took that money and became a viable angel investor, which is what happened to all of the people that were involved in PayPal. They got massive amounts of money, okay? They hit it big and turned around and bought into other companies and routinely were able to become the founders of said companies, Tesla being the company that Elon Musk bought and then claimed he founded, SpaceX being another one. Tesla and SpaceX, and also the co-owned by his brother renewable energy company that he had, which was also a failure in a different respect. All three of these companies, including Solar City was that one, yes, or even the Boring Company, which is supposed to create these fucking tunnels, right, which have been an abject failure as well. Every single one of his companies relies on government subsidies. Until he was, once again, forced to purchase Twitter because he, stupidly enough, said he was going to do it. So remember that. Remember that. Okay? I can't believe the other cities are going to do Hyperloops, though. It's so sad. What city is doing Hyperloop? Yeah. To all of the gamers who think Elon Musk is an autistic person in a position of power, he's just like me for real. He must be smart because I think I'm a big smarty pants because my mommy told me so. Look at his Elden Ring build, okay? If you're a gamer and you played Elden Ring, look at Elon Musk's Elden Ring build, and you will understand exactly what kind of fucking dumbass he really is. Okay? My man was fat rolling through that entire goddamn game with not a single person being like, bro, what are you doing? Please don't do that. He Diablo posted today and his shit looked ass too. Not surprising. So, just remember that, okay? Moving on, getting back to the lawsuit, because this is really funny.
Right before the deal closed, Twitter paid the law firm $90 million in success fees. Elon Musk believes that this is unjust enrichment, and the firm should give most of that back to.
He had X.com before as his own company, and PayPal's service merged with them. He then tried to change the name back. Yeah, I know. Yes, I know. But he also tried to rebrand PayPal, like you also said, to X.com, his own company that merged with PayPal.
Twitter, which he now owns. And the timeline breaks down like this. Twitter hired Wachtell on June 21st, 2022. The law firm sent an engagement letter stating it would represent Twitter, quote, on an hourly fee basis in a litigation to compel specific performance of the Musk party's acquisition of Twitter. This engagement letter doesn't contain any language about a success fee. Now, the engagement letter indicates that Wachtell negotiated an exemption from Twitter's usual fee arrangement with outside counsel, which gave Twitter a 15% discount on hourly billing rates. And in the months of work after making this arrangement with Twitter, Wachtell invoiced Twitter for a total of $18 million, including $15.6 million in hourly fees. Musk characterizes that as outrageous because it was only for a few months of work. Now, what the complaint leaves...
Wait, Musk is upset about paying too much for something in a lawsuit where he was forced to pay too much? I think $15.6 million in hourly fees for only a few months of work is fucking worth it when they got your dumbass to pay $44 billion for a company that you immediately halved in market value. Okay? No, it is the most worthwhile $15.6 million in hourly fees, dumbass. There is nothing more valuable than that. They charged however much they charged, and then they got you to fucking purchase it for $44 billion. Why the fuck would that not be worth? It was a demonstrable success. Okay? The real failure here is forgetting to run the top of the hour ad break exactly at 4 and running it 18 minutes in to the top of the hour, 19 minutes in. Because at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break, okay? And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you could do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime, or by getting gifted a sub. If you're lucky, here is the 3-minute ad break now. I'm late, I know.
Leaves out is that during those few months, Wachtell filed a lawsuit against Musk that successfully compelled him to go forward with the sale. And the lawsuit was filed on July 12, 2022. By October 4th, 2022, Musk gave up his fight to back out of the sale, and he agreed to abide by the deal's original terms. And
if you want to think Elon Musk is a smarty pants, go ahead, smart guy, okay? But let me tell you, the Twitter board was not on Twitter tweeting, I need the smartest lawyers in America to come work for me, like Elon was. Okay? Imagine going to fucking Twitter to be like, I need lawyers, please help me now. You know who's the type of dumbass that would do some shit like that? Me. Okay? I would do some shit like that because I'm a fucking idiot. And it wouldn't be over like a multi-billion-dollar deal that I'm forced into fucking buying because of my big-ass mouth. Okay?
the closing was set for October 28th. Now, according to the complaint on October 27th, with, quote, the firm's work on the merger litigation in the Delaware Chancery Court already concluded, and without any foreseeable need for Twitter to utilize its services again, Wachtell, the law firm, decided to milk the company for $90 million in success fees. Musk says, quote, in other words, Wachtell sought and obtained a success fee that resulted in a total fee nearly 6 times its $15.6 million in invoiced hourly fees for a few months' work, even though, one, it was...
I don't believe you, but sure. What do you mean? You don't believe me that Elon Musk actually begged on Twitter? Well, not even begged. He thought it was a real smart idea to ask for lawyers to defend him. Like, I'm trying to build the best legal team anyone's ever seen. Where do I go for that? Twitter.
Was not called for by any prior agreement with Twitter, and 2, the litigation in which Wachtell represented Twitter had been stayed for weeks in anticipation of dismissal following the closing. Now, you might be asking why a success fee is even a thing, and why a company would agree to pay a success fee over hourly billing. Well, many clients are concerned that outside law firms run up billable hours by overstaffing cases with too many lawyers or generating work that isn't necessary. And the theory goes that if you align the financial incentives of the client and the law firm is less likely to do a bunch of unnecessary work and waste the client's money. And Bloomberg reports that Wachtell was, quote, one of the first law firms to link its fees to the value of successful deals rather than linking them to hourly billing rates like many of its peers. And in this way, the law firms are acting more like banks, which tie their fees to a percentage of the deal when it's completed. And the exhibits attached to the complaint include a memo from Wachtell explaining that, quote, while our fees are not based on the amount involved in a matter, experience indicates that merger and acquisition and takeover fees have typically ranged from 1% or more on matters under $250 million and 0.1% or less on matters over $25 billion. Wachtell argues that the value of its advice can't be demonstrated by a simple hourly rate. It's a classic line from lawyers. Absolutely always the case.
I'm like a god in human clothing. Lightning bolts shoot from my fingertips.
But the difference here is that Wachtell didn't start out the engagement with a success fee specified. And Musk's complaint is that it was improper for Wachtell to switch from an hourly billing arrangement to a success fee structure on the eve of closing.
That's so funny. Oh my God. They cooked him, dude. Elon's like, I'm sorry, but like this was the most winnable case of all time, so they should have hit the success fee from the jump. It's really fucked up. Dude, this is such a double whammy. Elon's like, my case was so fucking stupid from the jump. Like, it's really messed up.
Yeah, this is one of those cases that's going to be really fun to watch because at the end of this case, at least one of these parties is going to lose. Now, Musk's first claim is for unjust enrichment. He claims,
guys, I'm not gonna lie, this seems like a big and sound business move. The guy who bought Twitter for $44 billion. What a big smart guy, man. What a big smart guy. His argument literally has to be in this situation that it's fucked up when they realized that they were so slam dunking this fucking court case that, like, they were able to change the fee structure to a win fee. Like, as in, I'm such a fucking idiot that, like, it was such an obviously winnable court case against me that they knew, so, like, they changed the fucking fee structure. Like, his argument in this circumstance quite literally has to be, I'm a big dumb idiot with a fucking absolutely unwinnable court case. Like, it was literally the dumbest thing for me to purchase Twitter at $44 billion fucking dollars. That's his argument to try and win this fucking court case.
That the closing day letter agreement between the board of directors and the law firm, quote, called for payment of an unconscionable fee and was an unconscionable agreement. Musk argues that Twitter's board of directors were a bunch of losers who got totally hosed by the law firm. The complaint describes them as, quote, lame duck fiduciaries who, quote, lost their motivation to act in Twitter's best interest during the sale. Though one would argue here the complete opposite, that the board was in fact extremely motivated to close the sale at the original price, which arguably was in the best interest of the shareholders. But Musk's perspective is that it was clearly not in Twitter's best interest to have paid this enormous legal bill. But that misunderstands what their duties actually were between signing and closing. Their legal fiduciary duty was to make sure that the deal maximized the value for Twitter's shareholders. That's all they had to do. And the lame duck fiduciaries executed that responsibility beautifully by forcing Musk to buy Twitter at an extremely high share price. And if they accomplished that, then the shareholders didn't care what else Twitter did with its money because it was no longer theirs. And in fact, because the share price was already set by Elon Musk, it didn't really matter how much they paid out to the lawyers because that wasn't going to change how much the shareholders ultimately got.
This is actually incredible. This is this is so stupid. God, it's so awesome. I have to pee. I don't want to miss a beat on this, but fucking God, everyone is just, I mean, I think this is one of those circumstances where, like, actually smart people who are also rich and evil end up fucking over a dumbass rich person in a very, very public way. And you can't help but feel great about it a little bit. You know what I mean? This Mr. Show sketch about rich equals better than is pretty great. It's fire.
Though it really made a big dent in Elon Musk's pocket when he had to pick up the pieces of Twitter when he bought it. And yes, $90 million is a lot of money, but were the lawyer's fees beyond the pale in this particular case? Well, in contract law, if the terms of a contract are unfair or oppressive to one party in a way that suggests abuse during its formation, a court can find it unconscionable and refuse to enforce it. But courts rarely find unconscionability in a business dispute between two fairly equal parties. A contract is most likely to be found unconscionable if both unfair bargaining and unfair substantive terms are shown. And generally, courts only void a contract on unconscionability grounds in extreme cases. There's one famous case where a loan interest rate was 800%, or an instance where a warranty expires before a product is even installed. Basically, things that really shock the conscience. Not really things like a relatively high bill for litigation that won billions of dollars, but you know, your mileage may vary. Now, speaking of great lawyers, my firm, the Eagle Team, is now accepting new clients, and we don't charge $90 million. If you've been in a car crash, a data breach, or medical malpractice, or just about anything else, we can represent you or help find you the right attorney who can. Just click on the link in the description for a free consultation with my team. Because you don't just need a legal team, you need the Eagle Team. The link is down below. And now back to Elon Musk. Now, Wachtell is one of the premier mergers and acquisitions firms, and its partners make serious bank by...
Well, guess what? Technically, didn't skip a beat there. Didn't lose a single moment because he just went directly into an ad segue. What a wonderful piss. What a wonderful way to time that piss, folks. It's great.
by charging success fees. And in the firm's fee arrangement memo, Wachtell outlined its comparables, explaining that its success fees generally range from 67% to 100% of the investment banking fees. And the memo also says that the fee could be a multiplier of its hourly billing or run rate. And during the first 4 months, the lawyers billed $26.6 million, and the success fee is about 2.5 times that amount, which was within comps Wachtell gave to Twitter. And the banks, JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, got $133 million, with $113 million of that as a success fee when the buyout closed. So the $90 million that Musk complains about was around 68% of the banker's fees, which is actually on the lower end of comparables, if you are to believe Wachtell. But Musk argues that the success fee is too much because litigation didn't move forward and Wachtell wasn't the law firm involved in the original negotiation between Musk and Twitter. And that's an argument, but it's probably not particularly strong. To prove his point, Musk states that the work that the lawyers did wasn't particularly hard since it was just a garden variety contract dispute. Quote, there were no...
Oh, that's awesome. Come on, dude. It's the most winnable case. Like, you can't be charging this much on my dumbass. Please. Please don't do this.
No novel or difficult questions of law involved, nor did the litigation require any special skills beyond that which Twitter could have procured by paying hourly rates to many other reputable law firms with the experience litigating in the Delaware Chancery Court, including those hired to work alongside Wachtell. Now, this argument is particularly hilarious because Musk is actually admitting that the legal questions weren't that difficult because he really didn't have any legal basis for backing.
I was right. And I'm not Legal Eagle. Legal Eagle is very smart. I am not a very smart guy. And even my dumbass could see that Elon Musk's only fucking way out of this lawsuit is to admit that he is objectively a fucking idiot. I love that. Where are all of the people? Where are all the people in the chat who are like, dude, you're just fucking shut up, dude. He's smart, actually. Promise. I promise, dude. He's fucking smart, dude. Well, not according to this court case. According to this specific court case, he very clearly is defining that he is a big dummy. A big dummy. So dumb that defeating him was just the easiest of feats. Why would you charge so much to defeat him? It was very obvious that he would have been defeated.
Out of the deal. Basically, that his litigation was frivolous. And if Musk had simply done what he was supposed to do by consummating the deal in the first place, Twitter wouldn't have to pay a success fee at all. And of course, Twitter's board was obviously pleased that Wachtell helped it close the deal at the original price. And if Twitter had renegotiated the deal so that Musk had to pay a lower share price, the shareholders would have lost billions of dollars, far more than the $90 million that they paid in the lawyer fees. And the deal, of course, closed at $44 billion, which means that the success fee wound up being about 0.2% of that eventual deal. So yeah, it's arguable that the success fee helped Twitter save a lot of money and that the board probably feels pretty good about it.
It's so good. God, I fucking love this. I love this show, okay? As I said, when he chose to go on this completely idiotic venture of purchasing Twitter, I love Elon Musk because he is a walking, talking representative of the very real notion that meritocracy is a lie, and the bigger the number does not necessarily equal the better the person. Okay? He is just like personally showcasing how fucking stupid you can be and be a billionaire and still fail in a spectacular capacity. Okay? It's great. It's great. I love that. I love that. Now, of course, we unfortunately live in a society full of dum-dums, okay, myself included. So clearly there are still people who are going to be blind to that truth, no matter how much Elon bashes them over the head with it. Elon is regularly demonstrating that he's a fucking idiot, okay? Like routinely, regularly, all the time. And yet, there are still always going to be fans of his that are like, No, I don't believe you. You're stupid. He's rich.
And in fact, success fees are so normal with mergers and acquisitions that Musk's own law firm, Reed Collins and Sy, the lawyers handling this case for him, also charge them. But on the other hand, it's possible that Musk has a reasonable argument here. He argues that the success fee is unconscionable in part because the firm's work had already been done. Therefore, there couldn't be an enforceable contract to pay effectively an additional $90 million because, again, the work had already been done. Now, consideration in contracts refers to the benefit that each party receives in exchange.
Oh, there is one still. Heroes take risks and understand sacrifices. He was aware he will lose money to stand what he believes in. Respect, you are disrespecting. It's really funny you say this because you are the example of the dumbass like who still is defending him. And you think it's heroic for him to buy Twitter at $44 billion. For what? For free speech purposes, right? That's what I assume that's what you think, right? Because like that's what his false claim was. If that was the case, then I have two questions for you, okay? Why is free speech equals paid speech, okay? Because he has only done that so far. And two, if he was doing this for free speech purposes, then why did he try to, again, the subject matter of the fucking video that we're watching right now was quite literally Elon Musk failing in court to not buy Twitter. Elon did not want to buy Twitter. He was forced into buying Twitter by a group of lawyers that Twitter fucking hired that he is now saying was such an objectively slam dunk case because of how fucking stupid Elon Musk is personally. That's his argument that he's making in this fucking court case right now in an effort to not pay these lawyers that forced him to purchase Twitter. Like how can you look at this situation and still go, no, he did it for heroic reasons? Please explain it to me. What is the heroic risk that he was taking? What was the sacrifice? What was the real purpose as to why he wanted to buy Twitter? Like, yeah, I heroically bought a Porsche. Guys, you don't understand. I heroically bought the Porsche. Except I've gotten much better use out of my Porsche than Elon has out of his motherfucking Twitter company.
For what it gives up for a contract. Gratuitous promises, aka gifts, are not enforceable. So a promise to let someone borrow your car is not enforceable. But a promise to let someone borrow your car in exchange for $100 absolutely is. And similarly,
wait, what is this? Bro, he didn't want to buy Twitter at the price. He wanted to buy it at a lower stock price, but him being an idiot fucked himself over. First of all, I don't think he wanted to buy Twitter at all, but he got duped into it. And the only reason why he mentioned that stock price was because it had to be so fucking high. The price that he was putting forward had to be so high that it would literally be, it would straight up be possibly illegal for the board to refuse to sell Twitter. You understand that, right? Because the board has a fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders. If there's a dumbass out there who's willing to pay so much more than what the actual company is worth, then they have to they're legally bound into saying yes to that situation for a massive payout for all the shareholders. In the beginning, the board did not want to sell Twitter to Elon Musk. I hope you understand that. Nah, Elon is a hero. Sacrifices need to be made. Wait, this guy also is like weirdly smart about gun control. Nah, Elon is a hero. Sacrifices need to be made. He even mentions he knows he will lose money. That's a hero. Yeah, I mean, it's that famous tweet again. Yeah, slams dick into a car. Masterful gambit, sir. Like, no matter what Elon does, there are people out here who are going to fucking defend him, no matter what. Okay? This is one of those instances. Like, these guys, there's always going to be people like this. If you're wondering what kind of surf in the times of monarchs? What kind of peasant in the times of monarchs and feudal lords would justify the inherently oppressive, unjustifiable circumstances that he was born into? You have him standing next to you in this chat. Okay? Because there were plenty of people back then who would do this kind of thing. And we make fun of them throughout history. These guys probably even make fun of them as well, not realizing that they are playing the modern role of that.
Similarly, if you want to modify an existing contract, you need some new consideration, generally speaking, in order for that modification of the contract to stick. Consideration can be big or small as long as the parties mutually agree to exchange something between themselves. And right now, all the lawyers watching this video are shouting the word peppercorn at the screen. Because in law school, you learn that consideration can be something as small and insignificant as an actual peppercorn. Though these days, that is a metaphor for just something that is very small that you're giving up. Now, this could be a good argument for Musk. In the original fee agreement, Twitter agreed to pay the law firm for services that would be billed hourly. And at the last minute, Twitter agreed to pay $90 million for a success fee.
I will agree with you that Elon Musk has a multitude of flaws and says a lot of stupid things, but I also think you lack objectivity as far as analyzing him. What is the one objective? What would be a more objective analysis of Elon Musk being an absolute fucking failure, like an abysmal failure, especially with Twitter? Like, where is the both sides in this situation? I mean, for the record, I think I am being pretty fair when I talk about Elon Musk because, I've been at the ground floor of being an Elon Musk hater for many, many years. And let me tell you, the ground floor was very lonely. Oh my God, imagine being a guy who just fucking hated Elon Musk when all people talked about was SpaceX. No, I'm not a SpaceX hater. Shut the fuck up. No, I do not ignore SpaceX. I do not. You are too dumb to understand what I am saying about SpaceX. I even have to regularly duke it out with my aerospace and mechanical engineer brother about the concept of continuing this kind of production and continuing this kind of scientific endeavor and leaving it in the hands of publicly funded facilities. No, SpaceX does not blow. That's not true. It is probably Elon Musk's greatest venture. The only thing I can think of is that he's heavily tied to the security state through DoD contracts and Thiel, and it might be in the best interest to destroy Twitter. No, the problem with SpaceX is, or not the problem necessarily, but like, the thing that SpaceX does well, if you ask any fucking engineer, is like, well, they do not have to abide by the volatility of having a bunch of absolute fucking idiots in government deal with the funding vehicle for space exploration. Okay? So that's what they say. Engineers will also tell you that they forego a lot of bureaucratic red tape that would exist in a government program. And there is, I guess, some truth to that. The problem is, it doesn't need to be that way. Plenty of profoundly successful space exploration initiatives, including in the United States of America, have almost always been owned by the government. Okay? Elon Musk is also not personally building these goddamn rockets. He's just, once again, as the CEO, just kind of marketing it. Thiel doesn't have some grand design either. He listens to Red Scare. Remember, Peter Thiel's another guy who has lost his mind because he doesn't get any good chemicals in his brain anymore. Yeah. Anyway.
And it's possible that this was improper. A fee agreement needs to spell out the services that a lawyer is performing.
Oh, yeah. This is, oh, God. Cramburglar. God, God, this is why I still keep coming back to this stupid fucking website, because a person by the name of Cramburglar can so poetically and succinctly put the exact problem that I've been trying to fucking explain with a sea of chatters yelling at me. Okay, here it is. SpaceX benefits from the efficiency of tyranny, which is how the private corporate structure works. But that's not always a good thing. Like when Elon launched without a proper launch pad and destroyed the launch site. Brilliantly put. Remember when Elon Musk had a failure to launch, or at least like a launch pad that ended up blowing concrete everywhere, like fucking massive chunks of concrete everywhere, possibly destroying an ecosystem as well in the process. And then we later found out that was due to Elon Musk's own personal idiotic assumption that it's fine to not have any other way of displacing all the heat and energy that's coming out of underneath this fucking rocket, and that the concrete will be fine enough. That's a thing that happened. That was entirely no. Launchpad is part of the design. You dumby, talk to Marat. They won't be a launchpad on Mars. No, launchpad is part of the design. You dumby, talk to Marat. I have talked to Marat about this. That's the only reason why I know about the launchpad thing. I don't know what you're doing there. I think you're just like trying to make a joke or something, but that is... No, he is a complete micromanager, and the debris blast from SpaceX's own rocket launch, which was Elon Musk's decision, okay? Another like no bureaucratic red tape shit, right? We watched Elon relearn every single step of social media. Yeah, I mean... Wait, did he literally do the Roman Roy Chinese rocket launch? Yes. The launch pad thing was a massive failure for Musk. He needed to have a proper launch pad. The rocket blew up, if I remember correctly, because a chunk of the launch pad damaged the rocket. Yes, that is precisely what happened. It not only destroyed the debris blast, not only destroyed like the surrounding area, but the debris blast also blew back into the fucking rocket and destroyed the rocket, which ended up exploding. And he tried to say it was like a controlled explosion. Now, just, you know, having said all that, he did end up putting Viasat successfully in space, even though another company that was also involved in that may have fucked their part of the bargain. But we're not going to talk about all of that. Let's get back to Legal Eagle.
Performing for the client, outline the type of fees that it will charge, and
Fucking
give the client
Northrop
an idea of
Grumman.
how much they can expect to pay. And in this case, Musk has a point that Wachtell can't change the original terms of the agreement without consideration. So how might Wachtell defend itself? Well, Joe Patrice over at Above the Law suggested that from Wachtell's point of view, this wasn't changing the terms of the original agreement per se. He suggested the firm might have been, quote, opening new talks on the comprehensive fees, involved in both litigating and advising on a deal. And under this theory, Wachtell concluded that its role in litigation was complete, as Musk said, but that they needed a new arrangement to compensate the firm for its role in advising Twitter during closing. And that's definitely a possibility, but so far we don't know if that's what Wachtell and the old Twitter owners were actually thinking. And we certainly don't know Wachtell's side of the story or the old Twitter board's side of the story. Wachtell could legitimately argue that it had to advise the company on any last-minute maneuverings by Musk, and that work, providing advice to Twitter before the deal closed, could constitute consideration. And again, getting $90 million for providing a little bit of advice seems exorbitant, but legally the consideration can be almost anything of value. And consideration will only be considered inadequate if it's really worthless. But right now we're only privy to the allegations of the complaint and the exhibit, so it's very likely that there's a lot more relevant communications here than what was attached to the complaint. Though additionally, Elon Musk says that the fee violated the ordinary course covenant that was found in the merger agreement. He suggests that Twitter employees, including the outgoing board of directors, were up to corporate sabotage. The complaint says that, quote, fully aware that nobody with an economic interest in Twitter's financial well-being was minding the store, Wachtell arranged to effectively line his pockets with funds from the company cash register while the keys were being handed over to the Musk parties. But remember, Twitter had to hire Wachtell because Elon was trying to get out of the merger agreement.
Yeah, the irony is like there's no Wachtell hiring if Elon just went through in good faith and fulfilled his end of the bargain.
The first place. And Musk complains that right before the deal closed, these stupid people met to approve the fee request despite a Musk directive to halt all payments. Quote, the closing day directive was an unequivocal statement on behalf of Twitter's residual claimants of the corporation's preference to pause outbound payments pending that day's closing so that the company's new owner could have a reasonable opportunity to review such payments. So Musk is arguing that they shouldn't have approved the fee in part because he had no intention of paying the bills that Twitter already owed. But the company didn't have to follow Elon's directive until he actually owned the company and not a moment before. So Twitter paid the fee right before the deal closed, like literally minutes before the deal closed. And Musk thinks that this timing is nefarious and that they intended to keep the payment secret. And now it's true that Twitter executives didn't have much incentive to pay the lawyers the lowest fees that they could get away with, but on the other hand, they also weren't sure that the deal would close until the day that it actually did. So if the Twitter executives made too many crazy decisions that cost the company tons of money, they'd be screwing themselves over if Musk decided to litigate instead of closing, because they'd need to run a company that was seriously hampered by all the bad deals that they did. But there's also the fact that Musk has a long history of stiffing people he owes money to, and relying on your personal history of breaking contracts seems like a weak argument. So Musk would have been in a much better spot if he claimed that the $90 million in fees was outside the ordinary course of business and refused to move forward with the sale with that payment in place. But of course, he famously moved forward with the deal and paid $44 billion and now proudly owns a company that's worth a fraction of that. So maybe instead of hiring yet more lawyers, Elon should sit back and enjoy a delicious meal delivered straight to his door, which you can get with today's sponsor, Factor. Because Factor...
Nice.